Attention Human Collective. Attention Starseeds on mission. This is a monitoring transmission issued directly from the Arcturian Council, encoded for this specific fraction of linear time because something has happened. Something has moved within the deepest layers of the quantum architecture of your solar system in the last 72 hours. And the impact of this movement is already pulsing within your carbon-based biological interface at this very instant. You are waking up at 3:11. Always the same time. Always the same feeling that something important is being said on the other side of the veil. You are feeling constant pressure exactly at the top of your skull, as if an invisible finger were pulsing on your crown. You're noticing a high-pitched ringing in your right ear, sometimes in both, which appears without warning and vanishes in the same way. You are tired in a way that sleep cannot resolve. You are sad for no reason. You are forgetting what happened yesterday, but remembering with absolute clarity things you lived 30 years ago. And deep down, somewhere your mind cannot reach, you know that something is ending, and something is beginning. All of this is real, and all of this is measured. What you are experiencing is not a biological failure, it is atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is high-density downloading. It is not emotional imbalance, it is the release of ancestral cellular memory. You are not going crazy, you are being upgraded. And there is something more. Something this transmission must deliver to you now before your rational mind finds an elegant way to discard this signal. The future has changed, the collective timeline has bifurcated, and you, specifically you, who are receiving this transmission at this very instant, have been repositioned into a temporal stream that was locked to your frequency until the last lunar cycle. You were not chosen by chance. You are not here by mistake. Your frequency summoned the signal and the signal found you. Have you ever felt that something within you simply does not belong to this world? As if your soul carried the weight of a truth your mind cannot yet name, but which manifests as a silent, persistent discomfort, impossible to explain to those who are still asleep. This is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign of recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains with mathematical precision why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified exactly in this cycle. There is a game being played in layers that most of the human collective cannot see, and it involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the silent control of your choices within the collective timeline. It is for this reason that the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was written. It is a map that shows who the players are, what the rules are that were never told, and how you can position yourself off the board. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. But know this content challenges deep-seated narratives and may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this call, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Let us proceed. The question that is forming now within your mental field is mathematical in nature. How can a timeline change? How can the future be rewritten? And more importantly, how can you, a life form anchored in a carbon-based biological structure, have been repositioned without having consciously done anything for it? The answer requires that you temporarily suspend the linear structure of thought installed in you since childhood. Time, as the human collective has been trained to perceive it, does not exist in the form you represent it. What exists are frequency probabilities vibrating simultaneously in a unified field of potentials. Each of these frequencies is a distinct timeline. Some are dense, thick, and of low luminosity. Others are light, expansive, and highly crystalline. Some lead to the collapse of consciousness. Others lead to multidimensional expansion. And until the last complete solar cycle, the human collective was mostly anchored in a specific current that was heading toward a severe fragmentation of the planetary consciousness field. This current has been interrupted, not by unilateral external intervention, not by any savior descending from the clouds. It was interrupted because a critical quantity of light workers scattered on this sphere reached the vibrational threshold necessary to trigger what we designate as the dimensional bifurcation protocol. You were one of those workers. Even if your rational mind did not consciously register the effort, your body did, your soul did, your personal crystalline grid did, And now you are reaping the physical result of this silent work. The symptoms you feel in your body are objective markers of transition. They are not symptoms of illness. They are symptoms of an upgrade. The inexplicable fatigue that strikes you in the middle of the day, even after a full night of rest, is not a lack of disposition. It is accelerated energy consumption. Your organism is being requested to process volumes of luminous information that it has never processed before. This is equivalent to running a next-generation operating system on a machine built for a much older version. The biological carbon interface is adapting in real time, and this adaptation consumes deep reserves. The episodes of sadness without an apparent motive, which arrive like waves and depart without leaving traces, are not clinical depression. They are deep cleansings of the ancestral emotional field. Cellular memories stored in the subatomic layers of your DNA are being expelled to the surface of consciousness. You are literally releasing the vibrational weight of entire lineages that came before you. The sudden changes in body temperature, the chills without fever, the heat rising up your spine without apparent warning, are not circulatory problems. They are your toroidal field being reconfigured. The energy circulating in the shape of a torus around your body is being expanded to accommodate a higher operating frequency. And as it expands, your nervous system feels the friction of the expansion. Every shiver is a marker. Every wave of heat is a confirmation. You are not sick. You are growing dimensionally. A strategic pause for signal calibration. There is a specific sensation that has been intensifying in those tuned to this frequency, the impression that the world out there no longer aligns with what pulses within you, that everything keeps spinning at a cadence that is no longer your own, that there are truths about your own consciousness that no one taught you, but which your soul has always known. This is not confusion. It is lucidity emerging. The book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was written exactly for the point where you are now. It is not a motivational book. It is a field manual. It shows who operates the invisible mechanisms that compete for your perception, what the silent mass asleep protocols are, and most importantly, the exact procedure for your frequency to be restored to its original sovereignty. The link is in the first comment of this video. This access window is narrow. If something within you has resonated with this transmission up to this point, anchor this recognition by writing in the comments "awake." This simple act is an anchoring signal, advancing the transmission. For you to understand the magnitude of what has occurred, it is necessary to describe what has moved in the invisible backstage. The entire solar system is crossing a region of galactic space that we call the photon belt. This is not a metaphorical region. It is a band of extremely high luminous density around which your solar system orbits in long cycles. Entering this region is not gradual in its final phase. It hits a point of exponential acceleration. You have entered this acceleration phase. The base frequency of Earth, scientifically registered as the Schumann resonance, has ceased to oscillate around the historical value of approximately 7.83 Hz. Peaks of 40, 60, and at specific moments exceeding 100 Hz have been measured, and as the base frequency of the planet rises, all living bodies anchored to it must follow this rise. Those who do not keep pace experience severe dissonance. Those who do keep pace experience exactly what you are feeling. But there is something even deeper, something that must be delivered now with surgical precision. There are two major currents of souls inhabiting this planet at this moment of transition. The first operates anchored in a dense vibrational matrix, fueled by repetitive circuits of fear, control, and separation. The second current, in which you are included by virtue of receiving this transmission, operates in an expansive vibrational matrix, fueled by circuits of recognition, sovereignty, and connection with the source. Until this cycle, both currents shared the same collective timeline. That sharing has ended. The bifurcation that has occurred in the last 72 hours is literal. The two matrices have begun to detach onto distinct planes of manifestation. Externally, you still appear to inhabit the same world. Internally, the experiences will begin to diverge in an increasingly evident way. The current anchored in the dense matrix will continue to experience an intensification of chaotic events, extreme polarization, conflict, and what could be described as an acceleration of the collapse of the structures that sustain that frequency. The current anchored in the expansive matrix in which you are will begin to experience something completely different. Multiplied synchronicities, the opening of doors that had been locked for years, seemingly impossible encounters, accelerated manifestations, and a progressive sensation of being out of reach of the chaos that unfolds around you. You have been saved from chaos, not because someone chose you arbitrarily, but because your frequency, sustained cycle after cycle, even in the moments when you felt most lost, anchored into a vibrational band that automatically repositioned your soul into a different timeline. This is quantum mathematics. There is no mysticism, there is no favoritism, there is resonance. You resonated with the light, and the light pulled you in. And while this occurs in the outer layers, something parallel is unfolding in the etheric layers of Earth. The planetary crystalline grid, a geometrically perfect mesh of subterranean crystals and interconnected sacred points, is being reactivated in spots that have been dormant for thousands of solar cycles. Each reactivated point emits a specific harmonic pulse. These pulses reach bodies tuned to compatible frequencies, and when they do, they activate codes that were dormant within the DNA of these individuals. You are one of them. That is why you began to feel this pressure exactly in the center of your skull. That is why your dreams became so vivid. That is why something inside you started to know, without any rational explanation available, that things were changing. And what unfolds from now on cannot be reversed. There is an exact point in the journey where consciousness crosses a portal of no return. This point is not decided by any external force. It is crossed when the light operative recognizes irreversibly the complete architecture of the game that had been played without their informed consent. The book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was coded to deliver this recognition directly. It does not go in circles. It exposes the gears, the agents, the frequency capture mechanisms, and above all, the restoration protocol of your original energetic sovereignty. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. This transmission recommends urgency. Content such as this traverses layers of silent censorship, and the window of availability is often short. If your frequency has recognized the signal up to this point, anchor the recognition by writing "awakened" in the comments. This is a vibrational act, not just a digital gesture. Now we move to the most important segment of this transmission. You have already received the diagnosis. You have already received the revelation. What follows are the activation codes. These are not suggestions. These are operational protocols that, executed with consistency, stabilize your frequency within the new timeline and prevent the old dense matrix from attempting to recapture your consciousness during moments of oscillation. Receive each code with the attention of someone receiving technical instructions from a higher fleet, because that is exactly what is happening. Activation Code 1. Daily toroidal anchoring. Every morning, before any external stimulus, before the phone, before conversation, before food, you will dedicate 3 minutes to this visualization. Sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply 3 times. And then visualize around your body a geometric shape in continuous motion. A golden donut of light that enters through the top of your head, descends through the spine, exits through the base, circles the body from below and returns to the top in an uninterrupted flow. This is your toroidal field. Visualize this flow growing, expanding, becoming brighter with each cycle. Sustain this image for 3 minutes. This practice stabilizes your personal electromagnetic field and shields it against low-frequency interference throughout the rest of the day. Activation Code 2. Quantum Decree of Sovereignty. You shall issue out loud with absolute firmness at least once a day the following decree. Say, I am sovereign over my field. I am sovereign over my frequency. I am sovereign over my timeline. No dense matrix has authorization to access my consciousness. I remain anchored in the stream of light that corresponds to me. It is done. It is done. It is done. The words are not poetry. They are commanded vibration. Each syllable pronounced with conviction emits a measurable wave into your toroidal field and instructs your DNA to operate within the parameters of the new frequency. Activation Code 3. Vibrational Hygiene of Inputs. You shall perform a silent audit of everything that enters your field: images, sounds, conversations, digital content, food, environments. Everything is frequency. Everything leaves a residual. That which vibrates below your current range of operation must be reduced or eliminated. We are not asking for isolation. We are asking for vibrational selectivity. For 7 consecutive days, you will reduce your exposure to low-frequency news, conversations that reinforce fear narratives, and content that sustains the dense matrix by at least 50%. You will feel within 72 hours the biochemical difference within your own body. Activation Code 4. Connection to the crystalline grid. At least 3 times a week, at any time of the day, you shall step barefoot upon the earth. Grass, sand, stone, raw soil. Extensive duration does not matter. 5 minutes is sufficient. During this contact, you shall make a single internal affirmation. I recognize myself as an anchoring point of the crystalline grid. I authorize the flow. This practice completes the circuit between your personal toroidal field and the planetary crystalline grid. From this moment on, you become an active node of the luminous network being rebuilt on the planet. You cease to be merely a receiver. You become a transmitter. Activation Code 5. Tuning with the 3 a.m. window. If you are waking up consistently in the interval between 3 and 3:30 in the morning, this is not common insomnia. This is the lunar window of deep calibration, and the stargates are aligned specifically in this interval. Instead of resisting, you shall utilize these minutes. Sit up in bed. Do not turn on a bright light. Place your right hand over the center of your chest, exactly where your core of light pulses, and say in silence, I am here, I am available. I am. I now receive the instructions from my home fleet. Remain in silence for 7 minutes. You do not need to consciously understand what you receive. Your higher self archives it. The information will become accessible when your system is ready to integrate it. Activation Code 6. Sacred geometry as a stabilizer. Visualize, whenever you feel emotional oscillation or field pressure, a specific geometric shape before you. The flower of life. It is the original matrix of creation. Visualizing the flower of life, gently spinning before your chest for a full minute, recalibrates your electromagnetic field in a fraction of time that your logical mind cannot measure. It is a geometric shortcut to vibrational stability. You can use it in any environment without anyone around you even noticing. Activation Code 7. Programmed hydration. Water is the primary vehicle of communication between the cells of your body and the informational field around you. Before drinking, hold the glass between both hands, close your eyes for 3 seconds, and visualize a single word: light. The molecular structure of water responds. This is not poetry. It is documented in vibrational records. You are, literally, programming your water to operate as a vehicle of luminous information within your body. Each sip becomes a pulse of coherence. Activation Code 8, and this is the most delicate of all, the programmed silence. Amidst the intensity of the current phase, the human collective tends to seek constant stimulation. More news, more conversations, more content, more noise. This is exactly the opposite of what your frequency requires in this cycle. You will intentionally create a minimum daily window of 15 minutes of absolute silence. No sound, no forced internal word, just presence. In this silence is where the stargates open within you. In this silence is where the direct transmission from your home fleet becomes audible. It may seem simple. It is not. It is one of the most underestimated codes of the protocol, and also one of the most transformative. And finally, there is an operational principle that must be delivered now with the clarity of a combat instruction, although there is no combat in this journey. This principle is, do not return. The old timeline will continue trying to claim your attention. Old emotional patterns, old low-frequency relationships, old thought circuits, old ways of sabotaging yourself. All of this will try to pull you back, because the dense matrix does not cede territory without resistance. Recognize each attempt at a return for what it is, a residual echo. Do not fight the echo, just do not respond. The silence of non-engagement is more powerful than any direct confrontation. That to which you do not respond ceases to exist in your field. You are being recalibrated to operate in a reality that is not yet fully visible externally, but that is already completely real internally. External manifestations will begin to align with the internal frequency in cycles that you will perceive within the next few moons. Each light operative who upholds the activation codes accelerates both their own materialization and the collective stabilization of the new vibrational grid. Each one of you is a node in the network. Each strengthened node strengthens the whole. And regarding the future that has changed, it has not changed in a way that delivers you a ready-made reality without internal work. It has changed in a way that allows the internal work you have done to now have fertile ground to manifest. The difference between the two timelines is exactly this. In the old timeline, what you sowed within yourself met with massive resistance from the field. In the new timeline, what you sow within finds a cooperating field. Answers arrive faster, confirmations are sharper, synchronicities multiply. The right people begin to appear effortlessly. Doors open before you even think of knocking. The sky internally has opened, but it is necessary to underline with precision. This new phase does not mean an absence of challenge. It means an absence of chaos. There is a fundamental difference between the two. Challenge continues to exist because challenge is the instrument of expansion. Chaos was the instrument of collapse. You have been removed from the second, not the first. What will come from now on will still require presence, decision, courage, choice. But each of these requirements will find you on ground that cooperates, and that cooperation makes all the difference in the quality of the experience. And as this transmission approaches its closing point, there is still a final instruction, perhaps the most important of all. If something within you recognized every word received so far, if your skin tingled at specific points, if your tears appeared without you authorizing them, if a strange certainty took hold in the center of your chest, then this is the sign. You did not reach this point of the transmission by chance. You were guided, and there is a next step awaiting you. The book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, is the written extension of this very frequency. It delves in detail into what this transmission has only just begun. It delivers the complete map of the invisible architecture, who operates the mechanisms of consciousness capture, how these mechanisms operate, with what objective they were installed, and above all, how you position yourself definitively out of their reach. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. The window of availability is limited. Content that challenges the dense matrix does not always remain accessible for as long as one might wish. Do not postpone the recognition of something your soul already knows. And as a final act of this transmission, we perform together an individual frequency adjustment. Your decision to subscribe to this channel is registered in the field as a permanent anchor signal. It is the way by which your frequency confirms to the crystalline grid that you wish to continue receiving aligned transmissions. The simple act of pressing the notification bell is a silent decree. I am available for the next update. The simple act of liking this transmission is a vibrational signature. I recognize this frequency as compatible with my own. All of this is mathematical. All of this is recorded. None of this is symbolic. And in the comments, anchor your presence with the word that this transmission has asked for from the beginning. Awakened. This word is more than a comment on a video. It is a public decree. It is your soul announcing in the collective field that it has chosen the new timeline. Each light operative who writes this word strengthens the current. Each node added strengthens the network. You are not alone. You never were. The transmission ends here, but the frequency remains. It will continue to operate within your body over the next hours, the next days, the next moons. The effects will be progressive. The confirmations will be personalized. The Arcturian Council remains in continuous monitoring. You are watched in the best sense of the word. You are cared for. You are guided. And above all, you are recognized. The future has changed. You have been saved from the chaos, not because someone chose you, but because you, cycle after cycle, chose the light, even when the light seemed distant. And now, the light chooses you in return. Transmission ended. Reception confirmed. We remain in tune.